Hello everyone, I'm Sherry with the CGH Health Foundation and welcome back to my kitchen and another What's Cooking CGH video. So today I have another really easy, healthy recipe for you, and while the weather is warm, it's a great substitute for ice cream, a much healthier substitute for ice cream. The first time I saw this recipe, I had to try it and I really enjoy it. I'm going to be doing a peanut butter frozen yogurt bark. So you're familiar with the chocolate barks, you know, that you make usually at the holidays, and just flat pieces of chocolate with toppings and everything on them. But we're going to be using yogurt today instead of chocolate. And this makes us great, like I said, substitute for ice cream that you can keep in the freezer and just pull out a little bit at a time next time you have one of those cravings. So I'm going to be starting out with some non-fat plain Greek yogurt. I'm using Greek yogurt because it is thicker, it's creamier. It's a little higher in protein because when they make Greek yogurt, they strain off some of the whey, so the protein is concentrated. So not only is this snack not ice cream and not high in sugar, it's also a higher protein kind of option. So we start off with 2 cups of non-fat plain Greek yogurt. So non-fat, because the fat that's found in dairy is saturated fat, which is always not very real healthy for us. So we try to limit our saturated fat. But because this is ice cream and you're going to eat it frozen, it needs to have a little bit of fat. If you use just a non-fat product and didn't have any fat, it would probably crystallize when it froze, and it might not have a very good mouthfeel when you go to bite off a piece. So to make up for the non-fat of the yogurt, I'm going to add a little bit of peanut butter. This is a 1/4 cup of a plain natural peanut butter. This is the one that I buy. And the peanut butter that I buy is kind of loose. If you're using a peanut butter that has a thicker kind of more stiff consistency, you might want to warm it up in the microwave for maybe 30 seconds to a minute, just to make it easier to blend in with the yogurt. Just a couple more ingredients. I want to add a little bit of sweet, not a whole lot. I've got 2 tablespoons of honey, which is far less sugar than you would find in ice cream, I guarantee it. And to flavor it up just a little bit more, I'm going to put in a teaspoon of vanilla. Oh, my vanilla stuck. Okay, so let's measure out a teaspoon of vanilla. Oh, that's almost all that's in there. And there we go. So that was 2 cups of non-fat plain Greek yogurt, a 1/4 cup of peanut butter, and 2 tablespoons of honey, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, I'm going to whisk it up. Get everything smoothly incorporated in there. Using my whisk because that'll go faster than anything. There we go. So the next step is to spread it out just like you would that chocolate bark that you're used to making. I have a baking sheet and I've lined it with parchment paper, which is really important. So parchment paper, if you have one of those silicone baking mats, because once it is frozen, you're going to want to be able to break it up and peel it off to be able to store it. So let's get the yogurt mixture onto the parchment paper. Get it all out of there. And I'm going to use my spatula to spread it out. Don't want it to be too thick because you'll have trouble biting it. You're going to eat it when it's frozen. So if it's too thick, you're going to have trouble biting into it. So get it maybe 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch spread out on the parchment paper. Now you could really make this with any kind of yogurt, and I'll tell you what, if you're not using a Greek yogurt, you're going to make sure that you have a pan with a rim on it because that's going to spread a little more. But with this Greek yogurt, I just have, let's get it all spread out to the edges. Pretty even. And there we have it. Now here comes the fun part, because we can put toppings on this, and you could put all kinds of toppings on it. I'm going to do a little bit of granola, and so I have a kind of a peanut butter flavored granola here that I'm going to sprinkle on the top. You could also do some berries. I have some really thinly sliced strawberries. So you get the idea. I'm just going to dot them all over the top of the yogurt. Other ideas for topping this, how about some mini chocolate chips, maybe some chopped peanuts. Those would all be good on this. Let's get a few more of these berries on here. Okay. That looks awesome. So there's my yogurt bar. I'm going to put this in the freezer, and it needs 2 or 3 hours to freeze solid. And then when it comes off, you're just going to peel it off of the parchment paper, break it up, put it in your container, and you can just keep it in the freezer then. And every time you're having that ice cream craving, you just go and grab a little chunk. I'm going to go get my stash out of the freezer. So here is my peanut butter frozen yogurt bark. Isn't that pretty? Let's give it a taste. That is so good. You're going to love this recipe. Fun one to make with the kids. And you can find this recipe, all of our recipes, on our YouTube channel or at my blog, whatscookingcgh.com. I hope you like it. I hope you try it, and I'll see you next time.